Welcome to ATB-TV. I'm Darren Dance and this is Brian Johnson, and this morning, Brian, we're down at Flemington, the sunny back of the straight track. It's an amazing view down there, isn't it?
It is, Darren, and we had a horse trial again. He went pretty well this morning.
Yes, David Hayes trained Firehouse Rock, had his second trial and ran second, and I think if he has a gallop next week, Brian, he could be off to the races.
He could be. He's still got a lot to learn though, Darren, but I was pretty happy with the run today.
Big improvement, Brian. And it's beautiful, this track. It's in magnificent order for tomorrow's racing. Let's just run through last week's results, Brian, for ATB. We had a few runners, and we started off at Donald on Sunday, where we took up 3 horses. They all started favourite. They were all selected to win. And guess what happened?
None of them won, Darren.
Surprise, Brian, surprise. Anyway, let's go through them. Chloe Anna ran second. She appeared to have every chance in that race. I just feel with her, if she's ridden a little bit forward, Brian, she does look plain late, and I think she's better off ridden a bit quieter and let finish off.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Darren. 100% agree.
Insightful, Brian, very insightful. He adds value every week, doesn't he, punters? And then we had Intravenous, the big boom horse, Platelet's little sister, going for 2 in a row. 1,000 metres too short, Brian. She could only manage 5th.
Yeah, it wasn't disgrace though, Darren. Only a second run. He's going to improve on that.
Needs further.
Needs further. Definitely.
And then Shiny Buttons in the cut. Well, I thought we had it, Brian, at the 200 when Michelle Payne gave him a couple around the back and he shot to the lead by a length, and then what happened?
Beaten by a fellow female jockey, Darren, and the females are winning races everywhere at the moment.
Linda Meach, too good with Saab Hussein. Can't they stay away? What are they doing at Donald?
Yeah, exactly, Darren.
They're not allowed over the Westgate.
Shiny Buttons going to Warrnambool next week.
He'll be one of the big runners down there, Brian. Wow, Brian, I've seen the light.
So have I, mate.
The sun is shining.
Finally, hallelujah.
All right, then on Monday we went to Randwick with ABBASSO. Short price favourite, $2.40, expected to win. What went wrong?
I think it's still coming, Darren. It's running in the outside late, but just didn't make any ground and finished well back, didn't it?
Got the biggest check I've ever seen. If I got a check like that, I'd be retired. We'll move on. He finished 11th. Chris wasn't too disappointed, but he did get checked and knocked over. At Caulfield on Monday, Brian, we had the 2 starters, and Princess HUSSEY was in the first, and Harry Coffey rode it very well to get the money.
Yeah, very well, Darren. Finished the race off strongly too, and won with a bit of style, I thought, on the day.
Hit the line strong, a very good win. Congratulations to all those owners. A lot of those owners bred that filly and stayed in, and then there was a lot of new owners, Brian, and most of them, I think it was their first city winner. How great's that?
I'm also looking for my first city winner, Darren, so I'm a little bit envious, but...
I don't know why you didn't go in that filly, Brian. You had the chance.
Well, I might go in the half-brother, Darren, the Royal Delago from Dylan Thomas.
Well, you'll have to be in the queue and you'll have to get in early. We had Stylish Lily run at Caulfield, Brian. She ran first up. Nice run to finish 4th.
Yeah, seemed to get a little bit lost in the straight, but it wasn't too far away, and she's a nice filly, races up on the pace, and I can see her winning a few races this time in.
I reckon if she doesn't win next start, she'll win the start after. She's a real racehorse. I think she's had 4 or 5 runs. She's got a check every time she's went around. She's earned money, and I think she's going to win one of these races in town.
No doubt, Darren, nice horse.
And then we went up to Canterbury on Wednesday with FALAGO. First up, getting ready for the Derby in Brisbane, and we sent him around with, you know, some sort of chance, but he hit the line nicely and ran 5th.
Well, that's what you want when you're heading towards 2,400 metres in Queensland. Just getting the horse in shape and getting it fit, and it'll be sort of ready come Queensland.
And so the star of the week was no doubt Princess HUSSEY. What a gem she is.
Nice little horse, Darren, and where's she going next?
She'll be going to Sandown, 1,400 in a couple of weeks, and then she'll be going for a well-earned spell. She's had about 6 runs in, and it just shows what a great job Darren Weir does.
Yeah, he's winning all over the place, isn't he, except for Donald.
Except for Donald.
With ATB.
That's it.
Alright, Darren, big week of racing this week, especially with the Warrnambool Carnival, and first up we've got Swan Hill on Friday, LISTO GITANO.
Yeah, we've got him engaged. His run was better than it looked last up, Brian, and I think with the extra ground, he's going to be in the placings.
In Singapore on Friday, Darren, we've got Lucky Lion back at the races.
Yeah, he's had a long time off. He's had a little setback, and his work's been really good. Spoke to Stephen Gray. He's very happy with the horse, and I think he gets through his chance to break through.
Excellent. And on Saturday, there's a lot of owners going over to Morphettville to see Platelet.
Yes, big day. Platelet in the Group 1 Sangster, and she's favourite, and she's drawn barrier 5. And earlier I caught up with Dean Elliott, and this is what he had to say about Platelet's chances on the weekend. Dean Elliott, welcome to ATB-TV. It's taken a long time to get you here.
good things come to those who wait, Darren. And
lucky I'm a very patient person, Dean.
It's a virtue, and I think it's quite fitting that we're doing our first ATB-TV at the top of the Flemington Straight, because my beloved Geelong, the blue and white stripes, are on top of the ladder after beating your mighty Hawks on Monday.
Yes, well that's very good, Dean. I've got no comment to make on that subject. We're here to talk racing. Let's talk about the Sangster, Dean. That's why we dragged you down here this morning in the brilliant sunshine of Melbourne. It's a big day for ATB with Platelet running in the Group 1 Sangster, a race she won last year. And you know a little bit about the form. What sort of chance do you give Platelet?
Yeah, terrific mare, isn't she? Going for back-to-back wins and a third Group 1. It's a really competitive field, Darren, as all the owners out there would know. There's 7 horses under $10 in the market, so 7 horses in under double figures. You don't see that in many Group 1 races, so a really competitive field. There's some smart 3-year-old fillies running against those proven mares as well, so Platelet around the $6 mark. Last start she was good. She probably sat pretty close to the pace, sort of outside the leader without any cover. How do you see her run from gate 4 on Saturday?
Oh, well, look, we're aiming to settle back, you know, in maybe 1 out, 1 back, or 3 pairs back the outside. That's what we're hoping for. We don't want to rig them close, but that's our plan. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. But what do you think? Can she win?
She can win, for sure. She's in my top 3. She's in my top 2. I think your danger's Gregor's. We've just been here with David Hayes this morning watching your lovely colt have a little jump out. He had a spring in his step this morning about Gregor's. Blinkers go on first time. She's worked really well between her last start, which was 6 weeks ago in the William Reid. And I just feel there's a bit of a sense of timing around her, but Platelet...
Oh, look, come on. He's grasping at straws, Hayes. He's put blinkers on. He's got no hope. I mean, I actually said you should scratch him. It's a waste of time.
Hopefully he takes what you had to say on board. but the way our gurus in the office, the speed mats have worked out that hopefully Platelet will sit right behind Gregor's and they'll fan out into the straight and may the best horse win.
And you've tipped Gregor's on top, haven't you?
I've tipped the Quinella.
No, you've tipped Gregor's on top. Don't worry, punters. He hasn't tipped a winner since 1972. So main dangers to Platelet, obviously Gregor's. Who else?
Gregor's. Well, we just see Politis has been scratched. Miracles of Life, we don't know if she's up to that standard. Dry Fontaine, look, she was a conqueror last start, so you have to throw her in a chance at about $9.50. And the Moody Galloper, Time for Julia, she's all class. Look, is this an afterthought? You go Melbourne, Sydney, then back to Adelaide. She'll have to be very good, so that's why I rate Platelet very highly. She's been aimed for this race, and at this time of the year, late in the season, it's really important how trainers map out that program, because you can have some tired horses running around after a long campaign.
Righto, Dino, being a guru from Centrebet, I'm sure you can give us 3 winners that we can get a bank to roll all into Platelet.
Sure. All right, okay. Let's start ANZAC-Day at Flemington here at headquarters. Another David Hayes runner, Honey Steals Gold, goes around as #1 saddlecloth in the St Ledger. He's been set for this race specifically. He's an out-and-out stayer. He'll love the sting out of the ground, and he'll be ridden quiet, and look to him to come to the outside and finish all over the top of them. That's Honey Steals Gold in the St Ledger. Then on Saturday we might stick with the Morphettville theme, and in race 4 in the Chairman's there's a horse going around at $14 called Red Nav. He was super last start. He's been a little bit underrated. The top 2 in the market, Dominate betting. He's down there at $14. I think he'll sit on the pace and run a really cheeky race at good each way odds. And then we move across to Sydney for one of the other Group 1s, the All Age Stakes, where Rebel Dane looks to capture another Group 1. He's a gun 1400 metre horse. His run was super behind the world's best sprinter Lankan Rupee last start, and he should go into this race primed. And I should just mention, all Centrebet clients get a 20% bonus on Rebel Dane's victory if you back him for the win. So jump on to Centrebet and make sure you get those juicy little overs on Rebel Dane.
Well, that's a very insightful summary, Dean. And punters, if he doesn't tip a winner, we'll never see him again, and we'll never hear a Centrebet again. But I'm tipping that he's going to tip a winner. And in wrapping up, all I've got to say is, in regards to Platelet, look at this sign behind me. She will fly. So get on.
Darren, the Peter Moody mare MUMBEILLY is in a sale, Flemington and Kilmore.
She's going to be very busy this week, Brian. I don't know where she's going to race, but he has entered her at Sale, Flemington, Kilmore, and also Warrnambool. So it's anyone's guess where she could start. But my tip is she'll probably go to Sale. And she's been disappointing so far this prep, but I think we'll see the real MUMBEILLY if we get a bit of rain.
Excellent. And Strattatini gets around on Sunday at Ararat?
He does. He had one run for Chris Waller, and we brought him back to Victoria, and we had to train him on the beach. He just didn't like stable life. Trialled up pretty good on Tuesday. He's no champion. He can probably win a maiden somewhere.
Now, a lot of our owners are going to want to know about Warrnambool next week. We've got a lot of horses, and we've got a special offer from Dean Elliott, which we're going to tell you about right now. I finally caught up with the Centrebet Kid, Dean Elliott, and after last week, Dean, the offer that wasn't.
The offer that wasn't, but good things come to those who wait, Brian, and we've got a really good offer for the Warrnambool Carnival this year, so I thought I'd come out, see you and Darren here at Track Work at Flemington this morning and put forward a really juicy offer to all ATB owners out there for the May Warrnambool Carnival, which is obviously such an exciting time of year.
It's going to be exciting 3 days in at Warrnambool next week. I think ATB is going to have a lot of runners, so what do you got for us, Dane?
Well, Darren said something like up to 15 runners, including maybe a start in the Cup with Shiny Buttons along with plenty of others, and I think the team are quite confident you can get a few winners over the 3 days. So what we can do, this is a bit of a special offer exclusive to ATB owners that are watching, ATB owners who are watching today. Nominate a horse from ATB to win over any of the 3 days of the carnival. If it wins, I will double your winnings up to $250. Now this is exclusive deal. All you need to do simply is to email me. I think hopefully there's an email address coming up there
now. Coming
now.
Up on the screen right now.
And all you need to do is email me prior to the race. Let me know which your ATB horse is. And then I will add in your little bonus funds, hopefully after it wins. So the pressure's on Darren, the pressure's on me, the pressure's on you to hopefully pick the right horse and then collect some really good winnings and some great overs. You don't have to own that horse that you select. It can just be any ATB horse running over those 3 days.
That is one great offer, and the best thing is as well, if you don't have a Centrebet account, if you join Centrebet and email Dean, they'll match your first deposit up to $300, so you can get a free $300 bet, and you can put that on the ATB horse as well. Yeah,
obviously a lot of people out here watching have already got an account. If you don't, just simply email me at that address that's popped up, and I'll sort you out with an account, and we'll get you up and running.
Now, Dean, it'd be remiss me not to ask you, why ATB?
Why ATB? Probably because I thought at the start it standard for at the bar, because that's where I always see Brian and Darren and everyone else, and Liz and Adam and all the owners was at the bar, so I thought that's a nice name for it. Then I found out what it actually meant. So anyway, it was a catchy name, and obviously the fluoro colours, and whoever that fluoro man is out there, we might find him one day. But very well marketed, and a great bunch of people as well. And we've obviously had some good times at the Geelong Cup and at Caulfield and at the footy as well. So looking forward to doing that this year as well with all the guys out there.
Why ATB? Why not?
Now, you're a Geelong fan, Dean. Anything you got to say to Darren, who's a staunch Hawthorn supporter, though he's been very quiet this weekend?
I just thought I'd wear the blue and white stripes, just a subtle reminder of the result on Easter Monday. So I might give Darren a further dig during ATB-TV, but certainly the Cats are looking good.
Yeah, a lot of excuses, Darren, didn't you, about the Hawks?
Lots of excuses, and
nothing substantial, eh?
Exactly. You know, they've lost Buddy now. He's crashing four-wheel drives in Sydney, and they're just all falling apart, I think.
Well, thanks very much for that offer, Dean, and make sure that you check out this email and give Dean a call. Now, if you're an ATB owner, make sure you take up that offer, because you're not going to get better anywhere else. Now, what horses are going to be racing next week for our owners to take advantage of that great offer, Darren?
Well, we've got a big week at the 3-day Warrnambool Carnival, and I hope to see many of you down there. Thursday morning, Brian, we've got the big breakfast at Matthew Williams' stable starting at 8 o'clock. That's the on-course stable, so everybody's welcome to come along. And we'll parade just 3 of our horses that we've got on offer.
Matty Williams must be some chance of the car. We've got a few chances with ATB next week.
Yeah, we're going to take down a couple of Matchbox cars and we'll make a special presentation. So get down to Matty Williams' on Thursday morning, and it'll be a great start to Cup Day. You going down, Brian?
I am, Darren.
Did you go last year?
I did go last year.
How many days did you go?
I think it was about 6.
Well, I reckon you went Tuesday and no one saw you after that. I think you went too hard too early. So what I want you to do this time is take the blinkers off, settle back in your run, and see if you can run out a strong 3 days.
That sounds like a plan, Darren. I've been training for like a stone race this time around.
Well, last year you were like a greyhound. You went 400 metres and that was it.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, Darren.
Until next week, I'm Darren Dance. This is Brian Johnson.
Why ATB? Why not?